Hi everyone, it's Megan Hall. So last time we talked about setting the profile and your account settings and getting notifications and also how to view things as a student using this little button here at the top, which should initially have your initials, and then later if you put in a photo it'll have your picture as well. This time we're going to look at how to set up the home page. Now I mentioned that in a class, I'm going to click into one that I have going on right now. In a class on the home page, this is basically what it looks like. This is set up with what are called widgets. We'll talk about different types of widgets in a moment, but basically I have here the announcements, the my instructor information, some quick links, and then they have a thing, university policies here, and then all of the modules come up underneath, so students can kind of click through that, including a module for academic support. So how do I get this set up? Well, it actually is pretty easy. We're going to go into our empty course shell here in the sandbox. Yours will look a little bit different because I played around with mine some. And you'll kind of see I've done a little bit of this already. I have a content navigator, I have a calendar, and I have an instructor profile. So how did I get this set up? Well, when you come into your course shell, into your class, down at the bottom are these three little dots. And here we're going to put manage home pages. So you can also just modify the home page that's there, but I think it's a little bit easier for me to show you how to create a home page. So I'm going to put create home page. I'm going to enter a name for the home page. Now this isn't something that's necessarily visible. It's more for, it's like a file name. It's just so that you know which homepage you're using. So I'm going to say English class test page. And my description is a test for instructional purposes. Making a home page. There we go. All right. So I always leave these as widget based. There's different types that you can do. Now, if you want the homepage to be an external URL, I don't know why you would want that, but you can have it. For some people, if they're working in a professional program where all of the tools and stuff are on that professional page, I'm thinking of something maybe like aviation, where maybe the work is going to be done in a different LMS. You could have that. You can also have it be a tool, but I like to leave mine as widget based. And basically, there are different widgets that you can add to this homepage. Now, there are layouts that you can choose from. Basic plus, large panel to left, etc., etc. It looks like different graphic novel or comic book pages. I kind of would encourage you to leave the basic, and my reasoning for this is that, number one, I think it has a really nice, simple layout, and number two, I don't think a lot of people are going to be changing their layouts. So if you do, you're going to have a class that basically doesn't look like all the other classes, and that could be kind of confusing for students. So take it or leave it. That's my recommendation. So let's add some widgets. There are a lot of widgets here. Remember, though, that this is just the home page. You can have some of these widgets in your other content pages later on. So do you want the calendar for students to be able to see what's coming up, or do you want, let's see, announcements? Maybe you want something about getting started. We're going to click our instructor profile. I wouldn't click my courses, but maybe you want a link for Office on there. And let's see. Let's add one more. Tasks. Okay. So once I get all of those in, whichever ones you want to pick, you can click to add. and they all come up. So this is almost like a little preview of how this will look. You can see that I just added a ton of stuff over here on the side. So maybe I don't want all of those things over there. You can drag and drop to the other side, or you can click add widgets and you can click to add some things over here, however you want to do it. But what I like is that this is pretty easily, I'm going to put the calendar over, I think, underneath my profile. I don't think I want getting started. I'll leave Office 365 and then I'll have the tasks as well. Okay, so this is kind of how it'll be set up. Announcements, instructor profile, Office 365, calendar, and tasks. Then save that. Or sorry, I should have clicked save and close. And then you can pick your active home pages. So I have here a whole list of them in alphabetical order. I just created English class test page. I'm going to click that and then I'm going to click apply. Now, the nice thing about this is that if you want the same setup, you can just apply that active homepage to all of your courses. It should be in there for you. Then, when I go back to the homepage in my course shell, you can see my announcements and tasks are here. Here's my instructor profile, and then the calendar is right below that because that's what I set up. Those were the widgets that I chose. I'm not seeing one for Office 365, but that might be because this is the sandbox and it's kind of meant to be played with a bit. Or it might be something that I need to talk to an administrator about to ask specifically, hey, do we have, do we have access to that widget? But that's basically how you set it up. You can personalize it as well. So here, go into the banner settings. You can customize the banner text. So I want this to say, like, best English class ever. Probably not. I'd probably have the actual course, ENG 123, let's say, college composition. And I save that, and there you go. It's right on top of that image. Let's say I don't like the image. Well, I can change that too. I can scroll through, or if you want something specific, you can search for that because these are just stock photos that are pretty much copyright free. So let's say I want planes. Oh, I kind of dig that. None of these would work for an English class. All right. Let's say I'm teaching sci-fi. I might use that image right there. So you can pick your image and then it pops up. I have some banners that I've made like in there we go. It took a second. Yeah, I have some banners that I've made for Blackboard, and then before that when we were in Angel. I think here, because of the size, it's just, I don't know, it's easier to just choose the images that they have for you. They're really nice, they're really clean, but if you do want to personalize them, you can make them in Canva and just check the dimensions before you do that. But it's pretty easy to upload one as well, and then you can take out the text here, whatever the case may be. But the important thing, I think, is to keep things consistent across your courses so that basically when students log in to a class that they have with you, it'll look the same as another class that they have with you. For example, here, I'm going to come into some of the classes that I took, fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this is a DEI class. You can see it's that almost panel, that basic design. All the modules are here, and then the quick links and the university policies. Little bit different from the classes that I teach where the instructor picture comes up and the announcements, but there weren't announcements for this class because it was asynchronous and self-directed. Another class if I can get it to pop. Here we go. Let's look at the accommodations and universal design. You'll notice again, modules are here, quick links, and university policies in that 2-panel format, and then the calendar underneath. So both set up the same way, and both have that image on that home page. So that's essentially it. It's pretty easy to structure a home page and get the widgets, those content areas there that you want. It's pretty easy to customize it using this image and banner text, or to upload your own banner if that's the case. So you'll notice on here announcements, and in the next video I'm going to talk about how to make an announcement and how it differs quite a bit from Blackboard, but in a good way. So that's it. Thanks.